I'm married and we don't have sex. I am a 30-year-old female and have never enjoyed sex. The first time I tried to have sex, it hurt so much as the guy was trying to penetrate that I actually cried. My spouse and I have tried to have sex but, honestly, I get exhausted, sweaty, and out of breath from it. I don't even know if my partner penetrates properly because it never hurts and always slips right out. It honestly feels like a chore and I can't wait for it to be over, even though I'm attracted to my spouse. My spouse doesn't really care for it either, so we just stopped having sex. We enjoy each other in other ways, but we don't have sex. We don't share this with people because we don't want anyone to think it's weird. Updated to add. I love how everyone on here thinks they know my relationship better than I do. If anything, my spouse likes sex less than I do. I was always the one initiating it at first. My spouse was a virgin who has always had low libido. I just went in here to share something and maybe get some insight. Never expected to get judged. Some of you all are wild and have some nerve saying my marriage won't last and just assuming things about my spouse secretly liking sex. Is it that difficult to believe that we both just don't like it? We are able to enjoy each other's company without sex. I think that could be a good thing. I do appreciate the comments with theories of why I dislike sex so much though, because I truly wish we could both enjoy it more. Got husband's friend jerking off with my panties. We had a barbecue not too long ago at our house. Medium-sized crowd, so not too many people. I was running around trying to make sure everyone had what they wanted. I ducked back inside to grab some more items. On my way to the kitchen I pass our downstairs bathroom which also has our washer and dryer in it. Door was shut and I peeked inside to make sure it was somewhat clean just in case someone needed to use it. The door was unlocked and right as I looked inside I surprisingly saw someone was in there. I tried to quietly leave then noticed he wasn't near the toilet but was standing next to our clothes hamper with his back to me. It was one of my husband's friends. I don't know him that well, but he seems okay. I was embarrassed for walking in and wanted to leave but then I realized there was a jerking movement coming from him. I watched for a second and it was obvious what he was doing. I cleared my throat loudly and he turned around surprised. There, wrapped around his cock, was a pair of my panties. He immediately started apologizing, which was better than him saying this is not what it looks like because dude you have my thong around your dick, of course it is what it looks like, and telling me not to tell my husband. I just stood there. He quickly unwrapped my thong from his cock and moves to put it back into the hamper. I said that's not going in there. It's yours now. You just bought yourself a thong. Lock the door, finish what you need to finish and then leave however much you think you owe for that pair of panties on the kitchen counter. And shut the door. I felt really proud as I normally am not that quick. I didn't see him the rest of the barbecue. Afterwards, as I am cleaning up, I find $2.20s, a $5 and $3.1s on the kitchen counter. Ha! I think he just gave me whatever he had in his wallet, $48, and then bolted. Still haven't told me husband, but I thought it was pretty funny. My boyfriend just really hurt my feelings. Basically I'll be straightforward, we woke up this morning he was all touchy-feely and all that jazz, then he asks if I can give him shower head with some extra stuff. It's still morning, I've been up since I don't know how early and I'm not as horny as he is so I say I'll give shower head now but I don't feel like doing the extra stuff now but we can do it later tonight. To this response I got a sign he just rolled away and is acting like I shot him in the heart. For context this hurts my feelings because I have sexual trauma regarding head in the past and for me to give head willingly and regularly is already pretty wild in itself. Anyways his reaction just bugged me. I'm pretty open-minded about doing stuff, I rarely say no or let's wait on this, and the one time I do, he shuts down and turns his back on me. My GF cheated on me and she's pregnant with my baby. I, am 22, was told by my GF, 19, of 1 year she cheated on me. I was going to leave her but literally 3 days later, we learned she was pregnant of 2 to 3 weeks. In a Walmart. It is for sure my child and don't want to keep it but she decided to keep it. Don't know what to do. Our relationship already not perfect so yeah. I also have the possibility to be an absent dad on birth certificate but I find it kinda selfish to leave a child without a father figure and I might want to see him at some point. Can't sleep, my thoughts are cloudy and I escape with weed and alcohol as my coping mechanism. Please help me get my mind straight. I watched my sister, 18, have the deed with my teammate. I played hockey at a pretty high level. Almost every weekend during the season, we were traveling all over the US and Canada for games and staying in hotels. Occasionally my dad, mom, and younger sister would make the trip as well to come watch. They would get a separate room because us players would be sharing rooms already. At nights, there would usually be a group of us that would gather in one room to watch a movie and just hang out before going to sleep. On this trip, my family came to watch, and that night my sister was hanging out with me and some of my teammates because it's not as boring as having to spend the weekend with my parents. Eventually, everyone started going back to their rooms to go to sleep, and I told my sister she could stay in my room that I was sharing with a teammate. My sister and I in one bed and my roommate in the other one. I fell asleep pretty fast, and at some point in the middle of the night, I woke up because I heard whispering and someone moving around. I looked over at the other bed and saw my sister in the other bed with my teammate on top of her. The blanket was mostly covering them, but from the movement it was very clear that he was doing her. Her knees were up and I could see his hips rising and falling between her legs. They were obviously trying to be quiet, but I heard light noises and saw them kissing. When they were done, he got off her and laid back down and they made out for a minute or two. Then I saw her grab her underwear and put them back on under the blanket. My sister started to get out of his bed, so I had to close my eyes to keep pretending to be asleep. I felt her get back into my bed and fall asleep. I didn't get much sleep after that. Just laid there pretending to sleep. The next morning, nothing was said about what happened and I'm sure they both still assume I slept through it all. I never told or said anything about it to anyone.